Mortgage Keeper has arrived. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee, and for those regulars, those who've been watching the channel for a few years, you might remember when we were discussing JobKeeper and how I would often joke, and this was a joke, about the introduction of Mortgage Keeper. Well, here's the thing. I'm starting to suspect that if you just take the most ludicrous assumptions of what could happen with regards to politics, it will eventuate. And well, here we have an example from Spain. Spain to approve mortgage support for more than 1 million households. And I know you're saying, but Florian, this is Spain, it's not Australia. Surely our politicians are too smart to ever. I can't finish. Oh boy. So, Spain to approve mortgage support for more than 1 million households. Oh boy, I don't want this to be an international precedent. So, measures support vulnerable families. Anyway, so the Spanish government will approve on Tuesday mortgage relief measures such as extended loan repayments for up to 7 years for more than 1 million vulnerable households and middle-class families, the Economy Ministry said on Monday. Now, I know people will think, oh, this is good. It's keeping these people in their homes, the poor. This is just another intervention into the market. You need to allow it to correct. The more that you intervene like that, the more artificial and out of whack it gets. You create disincentives to invest, disincentives to provide cheap and affordable homes. Maybe houses that are even more affordable to people. Maybe they're having to stretch themselves too far. The ministry said the new measures, which would be given the go-ahead at the government's cabinet meeting, would be adopted pending final negotiations with the Spanish Banking Association. In Spain, around 3/4 of the population are homeowners, with most opting for floating rate mortgages, more exposed to accelerated interest rate rises. And, well, that's going to be similar here in Australia. We don't really have much difference. You can have, 5-year fixed at most, maybe? Can someone explain to me how the US managed to get 30-year fixed mortgages? Under the framework, banks will provide mortgage support for vulnerable families through an amended industry-wide code of practice. The income threshold will be set at 25,200 euros. That's, 25 grand. That's not much, is it? Let's have a look at what the median income in Spain is. It's average income in Spain, that'll do. So, okay, the average salary in Spain is 24,000 euros. Okay, that ain't that high. I guess is that why all the palms are moving to Spain, guys, for cheaper cost of living? Is that what's going on there? I'll just have a look there. There we go, yeah. You can see that there. So this is average. Vulnerable households will be able to restructure mortgages at a lower interest rate during a 5-year grace period, already set in the original 2012 industry-wide Code of Good Practice, which is voluntary, but becomes mandatory once lenders adhere to it. Grace periods allow borrowers to delay payments on the principal of the loan without being charged late fees and not resulting in default or loan cancellation. So they're changing the rules. It's like here in Australia when they allowed businesses to continue to trade while insolvent. They're just changing the rules. The period for cancelling debt has been extended by 2 years and includes the possibility of a second restructuring if necessary, the ministry said. Now, you've got to understand, when this happens in Spain, this can get picked up and used as an example here in Australia. When they were trying to ban cash, they were, remember there was this one really, really just dodgy guy from one of these church charities. Really a Weasley type of character. I remember watching him. And he was referring to all of these other countries, using them as justification to ban cash. Vulnerable families that spend more than 50% of their monthly income to repay their mortgage, but do not meet the conditions set out in the previous code of a 50% rise in their mortgage payments can take advantage of a 2-year grace period. Oh boy. The government will additionally implement a new code of good practice for middle-class families at risk of vulnerability, setting the income threshold at less than €29,400. In those cases, lenders must offer the possibility of a 12-month freeze on repayments, a lower interest rate on the deferred principal, and an extension of the loan if the mortgage burden represents more than 30% of their income and the cost has risen by at least 20%. The mortgage relief is expected to come into effect next year. So there you go, everyone. We have, well, Mortgage Keeper in Spain for the average income, the average salary in Spain, guys. Not destitute salary, average salary here. So, well, let's have a talk about this. So, it's a tough one. So here we have people on an average salary who are spending half of their income on their mortgage, getting a chance to, well, push it out a bit longer, be perhaps trapped in a property longer than they should, or, well, kick the can down the road even more. Is this what we want, everyone? I think the problem is people will see these policies and say, oh, this is a good thing. It's taking care of people. It's helping them out. Oh, the greedy banks are just making a whole lot of money anyway. Let them absorb it. But the problem is it's intervening in the market. Some people may have extended themselves too far. If you get to the point where you're paying 50% of your income on your mortgage, you need to make some drastic actions. And maybe the best thing you could do for your life and your sanity is to cut your losses. As tough as that sounds, sometimes you just have to cut your losses, walk away, and start again. But it's going to be hard to make that argument. Politically, it's going to be really difficult to make that argument. So I can see why something like this will get across the post. But I can also see why a similar thing like this could happen here in Australia. Couldn't you? Anyway, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one. Do you think this is a good thing, keeping people in their homes? Yeah, I guess it is. Or is it a bad thing? Too much intervention into the market? Or is it just a sign of the times where there's not really a free market, to be honest, if they can chop and change the rules? Is it also worth this intervention to maintain social cohesion? Is that what people would want as a society? Nothing's worse than being kicked out of your home. Well, okay, there are a lot of things worse than being kicked out of your home, but being kicked out of your home is a pretty stressful and difficult situation, particularly if you have kids. Anyway, let me know your take on this one, guys. Please check out my other channels, HeiseBim and HeiseSays International, for other topics I discuss. And if you're a fan and want to support us, you can financially on YouTube or Patreon. Use our referral links, buy our pocket squares, or call us if you need an architect. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. And I'll see you in the next episode of HeiseSays. Bye for now.